Hello family, it's yet another time on the LABABY'S Spotlight Show, and I'm super excited to be coming your way on a show that brings light to issues of interest in and around you. Stay tuned, relax, and let's steer the affairs to a successful end. My name remains LABABY, and today, if this is your first time, you're welcome on the Spotlight Show. Today we are going to be treating this issue: breaking free from toxic bonds. Breaking free from toxic bonds. When I talk about toxicity or toxic relationships, it simply means a relationship that is not helpful, a relationship that is harmful to you, a relationship that would poison your soul, poison your dreams, and poison so much about you. It can even kill you in the long run. So join me even as we break the ice on this matter. Now, since we understand what toxic now means, let's look at what it means to break free. When we talk about breaking free from something, it means loosen the cords or the chains that thing held you onto. Being free from any captivity whatsoever, being liberated from something that wasn't going to do you good in the long run or eventually. And it also means escaping from imprisonment, being in something for a long time and suddenly you are able to escape or come out of it. Yes. Now, how do you break free from a toxic bond? We are in a society whereby at the end of it all, life is about making a choice. We choose those we want in our lives. We choose those who we want to stay with us in our day-to-day walk along the journey. And so who do you choose to be your partner? Who do you choose to be your friend? Who do you choose to be your spouse? Who do you choose to be your boyfriend or your girlfriend? Well, these people that are coming your way, are they going to be helpful in your journey? Or they are going to be toxic? Now, first of all, how do you identify that this person in my life or this person coming into my life is toxic? Number one, the person always seeks their well-being above yours. The person is manipulative. The person is controlling. The person wants to have you for him or herself alone. The person wants to derive so much from you and give you little. These are so many examples of who a toxic person is. The person can kill your soul. The person can kill your drive. The person can kill your dreams and your passion. The person can do so much just because they find themselves in your lives. So now, how do you break free from such a person who wants your downfall? Such a person who is working with you today and is laughing with you, but hey, one child sister, or the sick somebody will choke you, somebody will stab you, somebody will do all manner of evil against you, but you wouldn't know, because you are still allowing that toxic relationship to function. Now, if you find yourself in a toxic relationship, number one, you have to acknowledge that, hey, this person I'm working with is a toxic person. How can you see that? You can see it from the signs that I've earlier stated. That the kind of attitude the person will portray will help you to know that the person is a toxic person. Say, for instance, you want to do something, and the fellow sister or brother knows that when you start that initiative, you'll probably rise to become a great person tomorrow. If I am a toxic person and I don't want that to happen, I'll do my possible best to drain you, to drown you, to make sure that those dreams, aspirations do not come to life. That is an example of a toxic person. Now I have to break free. Sometimes we find ourselves so tied to this people or these partners that it is difficult to break free. It becomes an addiction. Okay, you are with a friend who is always drinking, so you are addicted to it. You know, you can't say you are working with a drunkard yet still you are not a drunkard. Gradually you will become a drunkard tomorrow, no matter how high your principles are. So if you think that is your problem, number one, you could seek counseling from a psychologist or a counselor, somebody who is specialized in that field. That person can coach you very well. Number two, live one decision at a time. Live one decision at a time. That is to say, take one day at a time. You know, let's say you find yourself in the company of drug addicts. Okay, you can't immediately cut them away totally from your lives. your life, sorry, you can't cut that addict from your life just like that. You need to take it gradually. If you were a smoker, or you had a very terrible negative vice, okay, you can't just stand up one morning and say, yes, I am a changed person. You have to start it gradually. If today, or let me take it like this, you used to drink 3 times in a day and you want to break away from this toxic vice, you need to start gradually with the help of a counselor or psychologist. Twice, then it moves to once. It's the same way that when you are cutting down your friends or the toxic people in your life, you can't just stand up and say, I'm a free person. No, you have to gradually distance yourself from them. That is to say, give yourself some time to break free. It's a gradual process, so don't be too hard on yourself because you want to be in a hurry to leave a toxic relationship. Take it gradually and you'll just be okay. And make sure that the next move is that you have to learn to build healthy connections. Why do I say connections need to be healthy? When you are working with people who won't do you any good, trust me, there will be no good seen in your life. When you are working with people who don't want the best for you, there will be no best that will come out from you. No, because you haven't identified yourselves with a healthy connection. Now, you can also write down a list of behaviors you don't want to see. Okay, if you see that it is difficult to implement certain things that you have set your mind to do, sometimes you can write down, for example, I will not sleep with any man until I'm ready to get married. I'll try and keep myself until I'm ready to get married to somebody. I will not argue with someone who has been drinking. I will take care of my own finances. I will not have conversations with anyone when I feel desperate. You know, sometimes when you write these down on papers or sheets of papers and paste them in your walls or wherever you see them at vantage points, anytime you're about to backslide, that thing comes up, it pops up in your face, and it constantly reminds you of the decision you have taken not to work with this toxic person. Because at the end, if you don't follow whatever you have written down, trust me, you're going to go wayward and toxicity will kill you. Whatever your areas of concern are, you need to determine what to do with your life, unless you don't want to progress in this life. Also, you have to, the next point you have to note down is learn to build your life. Learn to build. If you want to break free from a toxic relationship, you have to accept that, okay, Mercy wasn't doing me any good in the past. So then if I'm pushing Mercy aside, or I'm pushing Mercy on the next level, then how do I pick up myself from grass? How do I pick up myself from the root? I have to learn to rewater my plant. Rewater my plant to grow into a big tree. Little by little, we can start dreaming. Little by little, we can start grooming ourselves. You know, sometimes it's difficult to break up or break free from a toxic person because probably the person has promised you that, hey, or backhammer, winning said, if I decide to walk with you, we'll go places. But you have to follow my rules. I have to be able to control you. You don't have to talk to this person all the time. You have to stick with me all the time. And because the person has promised you heaven on earth, you are forced to follow this toxic relationship. Forced to follow this person who will not help you. Probably the person will help you in the short term, but will not help you in the long term. You are forced because of the promises the person has promised you. So nipa no abo, right? The person is beating you. You say that no, there is such more that the person has pledged me with. And so if he's beating me, I'll sit down in this relationship. If he's slapping me, I'll sit down in this relationship. If he's draining my positivity and giving me negativity, I'll sit down in this relationship because he has promised me heaven down on earth. My dear, nobody can promise you heaven down on earth and just want to just take advantage of you negatively. That means that if the person seeks to do that, the person doesn't want your welfare. The person is just individualistic. The person is thinking about me, and not us or you. So you have to also note that down. Now, understand the hook. That is to say, that's another point. When I say understand the hook, understand the step you want to take. You know, you have made up your mind that you want to kick away toxicity from your life. You want to break free. So you have to understand, make that conscious effort that, hey, I want to do this. And so it's going to be difficult. I mean, somebody I've been working with for 8 years, and now I realize the person isn't doing me good, and it's a toxic person, and it's going to harm my future. How do I break free? It's going to be difficult because bonds have already been established. But nipa no all real caring or fall for free. The person is taking you for granted. The person is using you. Psych your mind that this is what I want to do. Difficult, but I have to do it in order to break free, because at the end of the day, I don't want to harm my soul. It's a conscious effort you need to do. Now, it's okay to grieve, okay, in this process while you are breaking free from this toxic relationship. You'll be reminded that, hey, now I used to be so close with this person. I used to be so close to Martha. Now we are going to be separated because I've realized that we are not of any good to each other. It's either she's toxic, okay, let me put it like this, she's a toxic person, so you are going to miss her because she's not around. But hey, you have to say, yes, I'm taking this decision. So don't stress so hard. Allow yourself to grieve. When you grieve, it will be painful, but it will do your soul good. Because if you haven't grieved over it and you just stand up and you move up and about, and you make that drastic effort, later one day you'll also come back and regret and see that I want to go back to my toxic lifestyle, which wasn't helping me, and it will drain you in the long run. So when you have learned to grieve, then you can understand the hookup. And so the first thing, seek help from a counselor. The next thing, know what you are hooked up with. Understand the hookup. Understand the decision that you want to take. The third point is that build healthy connections. Connections that will pave way to greater dreams in future. Not connections that will pave way to distraction. Not connections that will pave way to jealousy. Not connections that will pave way to bitterness. Not connections that will drain you instead of bringing you alive. Not connections that will destroy your goals one day. That is the third point you also have to note. The fourth point also is that you have to note that it's a journey. So after building healthy connections, it's not going to be drastic. It's going to be one day at a time. So don't stress. Take it easy and you'll be just fine. Seek the help of people that, you know, when you surround yourself with, as you're building these healthy connections, people who they are not counselors per se, but you know that you can easily run to them when you are in need of this particular kind of assistance, so that it can help you while you're breaking free from this toxic bond. And also, the next point that we raised is that you have to, apart from understanding the hookup and building all the healthy connections and all that, know that it will happen. If you decide to, we decide to give access to who we want to open the doorways of our hearts to. Okay? Or boo now that's what relationship mean. Or titi wa brabo now that's what relationship mean. Or boo as if the person is slapping you, you are still in the relationship. He's not even your husband and he's hitting you. Are you waiting to get married to him before he slaps you left and right and they say tomorrow you are no more? Are you waiting for you to run to Dobso or Wajo or whatever they call it? Are you waiting for that opportunity? Are you saying, oh, I love him, you know, he will change tomorrow, he will change? Yes, he can change tomorrow, but what if he never changes? Will you be a punch bag? You know, I have this friend that she told me that, sister, anytime I go out, he wants to know where I am, so he wants me to take a picture of myself. Somebody who always wants this, where are you, what are you doing, take a picture of yourself, send it to me, has insecurity problems. And this is an example of toxic people or toxicity in a relationship. You have to break free from this bond. No matter how much he may claim to love you, he should give you space. He should understand that you are also human. He should learn to trust you. He should learn to trust what you do. He should learn to trust your relationships. He should learn to understand that you also are a human and you have needs and wants. Okay, don't let someone, you know, it's okay to say, okay, I need this, I need that. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't let someone, anytime you raise it up, the person thinks that you are nagging because it's not about him or her. Once it's about me, it's fine. But once it's about someone else, no, that is a toxic relationship. Let us wake up from our fantasies. Let us wake up from longing for money too much above our own emotional peace. Let us wake up from loving money so much that we don't care if we have to wake up every morning with blows on our face, with tears in our eyes, because we are in love or because we can't break free from this toxic relationship. Toxicity kills. It can kill your soul and it can kill your dreams. Before you know it, nobody could save you. Talk to somebody. Set your goals for yourself. Stand up to it. Things you don't want to see about yourself, write them down. Let them be constant reminders in your diaries. Paste them in your rooms, that every day when you wake up to see them, you will come alive again and know the pathway that you want to channel on. Don't wait till it's too late, because when it is late, there will be nothing else you can do. Thank you so much for joining in. I believe that you may have some comments you would also want to share, some experiences of being in a toxic relationship with somebody. You can drop your comments. Let's have that discussion, okay? Because if you are also in a toxic relationship, come out. If you think you can't break free alone, or you can't do this on your own, just come out openly. We have counselors out there that we could link you up to who can help you. My sister, don't wait. Don't wait. Thank you so much for listening. And remember to be a spotlight in the void of darkness. Toxicity kills. If you haven't heard anything, hear that toxicity can kill your soul. So learn to build your life away from people who kill your inner peace, your inner joy, and make you feel unworthy of yourself. God didn't create us to be unworthy. He said he bought us with a price. That is why he came to die for our sins. So if he came to die for our sins for a cause, that makes us come alive. That makes us know that we are now worthy. Okay, so don't let anybody treat you like trash. Don't let anybody step on your freedom. Build your life in a better version and make God proud. My name remains LABABY. Stay tuned. Remember to subscribe and stay free and break free from toxicity, because it kills. Let us celebrate.